It's like they're trapped in a different planet on account of their algorithm, I guess, and the media that they consume and the people that they engage with are all just like them. They all believe the same thing, so they don't get any. And when they receive external challenges, they write it off as conspiracy theorists or bigotry, or just, these people are MAGA, who they associate MAGA with being stupid and ignorant and racist and so on and so forth.
Right. What's your favorite, like, what podcast or book are you watching, reading? What book are you reading or listening to, or podcast are you listening to that's really stuck out to you recently?
That's a good question. I feel like I'm getting a bit podcasted out. So
and the rest of the world?
Yeah, I know, which is, because
not good for those of us with podcasts.
I know. I mean, I'm not tired of my own podcast. But I obviously listen to Rogan. Sometimes I listen to your podcast. I listen to Trigonometry. It's, for me, it depends. I choose my podcast based on the content or the interviewee. Yeah. And part of that is just because of my work. If I'm trying to learn about something or, there's a specific person, maybe I'm prepping for an interview or something like that. I listen to Meghan Kelly a lot. And what else do I listen to? I mean, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts for entertainment's sake. Yeah. I listen to consume or learn something. And so it's the same thing with a lot of the books that I read. I'm often prepping, but I've been trying to read Orwell a lot.
More fiction.
I just got a copy of Kafka's The Trial, which I'm sort of scared to read because I think that it's just going to drive me insane. So I'm like, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Reading Orwell does kind of drive. I reread Animal Farm, which I hadn't read since, I can't remember if it was late in high school or early in college, but when I read it, I didn't understand what it was about. Like, I don't think I understood that it was this critique of communism. But I read Orwell, and he's great, obviously, but it also drives me insane because I'm like, why isn't everybody getting this? Like, I reread 1984 when I first got to Mexico, so almost 5 years ago, and I was like, if everybody in the world just reread 1984, then this would all be resolved, and we would stop going down this path that we're on. But I don't think that's even true. Like, I think that people would reread it and still somehow not connect it to what's happening in this world, or they just wouldn't want to. Like, it would almost be too overwhelming to realize the path that we're going down by, criminalizing so-called hate speech and limiting what people can see and read and produce online because, it's for our own good. Rewriting history so that, we're looking at everything through a post-colonial lens and those kinds of things that they're doing in universities. I remember I was at the Apple store in San Francisco a few years ago and I was talking to this kid and he was very proudly telling me that he had been tasked with, I think he was doing a master's degree or something, like rewriting history books.
Wow.
To include this post-colonial analysis.
That's crazy.
He was editing all these history texts.
This is why I want to get an old encyclopedia. That's what I want for Christmas.
That's a good idea.
I want just like a set from, I don't know. No, but like 2002. Like before it gets weird, but maybe post 9/11. You'd want 9/11 in there, right?
I would like to see what they write about it.
Yeah, I wonder what they would write about it. I'm always advocating for paper books. I mean, I buy and read paper books.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yep. I've been listening to. I don't generally listen to books.
No, me neither.
Because I have a harder time, like keeping it in my brain than if I read it.
Me too.
But because I have such a drive constantly in and out of town, I've started listening to books, and I actually getting through a lot of books, but I cannot, it's like I can only do it when I'm just like in the zone in a long stretch. If I have to focus at all, I just have to turn the book off because if I miss like even like 30 seconds of the book, I'm the person that wants to rewind it. I do this with movies and it drives my husband crazy. He's like, just keep watching. Like, you'll figure it out. I'm like, no, what'd they say 30 seconds ago? He's like, can't you just like discern what they said?
I'm exactly the same. I mean,
I'm like, no, I need to see it. Is this a guy thing? I was like, no, I have to see every minute of every, like, I cannot miss a single second of this. So yeah, I don't know. I've been listening to more, but I prefer to read them. I don't like when I have to do research or have somebody on and they have a book, I always want them to send me the book instead of
I know, me too.
I don't want to read it on a
And
screen. I don't want a PDF.
Annoyed because people will be like, "Oh, here's a PDF." I'm like, "I'm not going to read that."
But
I'm
also,
not reading
like,
a book on my laptop.
I stare at screens all day, and I don't
Me too.
necessarily want to stare at a screen even when I have to do the research. But also, I was thinking about this having a kid now. She can't tell that I'm reading a book if I'm reading it on a screen. If I'm reading a book, she can see I'm holding a book and reading a book and mom is reading books. And you're setting that example for her. If I'm reading a book on a Kindle or on a screen, even if I'm reading it, she doesn't see that. She still perceives it as mom is looking at a screen. And I feel like that's a very big difference in what your child is observing and like the habits that you're trying to like more. My friend always says, and I don't know where this comes from, but she heard it from somewhere, like more is caught than taught. So kids catch more. Like you can be like, you need to read, you need to read, you need to read. But if you're on a screen all day, that's what they're catching. Yeah. And so for me, it's more important that I'm like reading actual physical books in front of her than on my screen. And I am by no means perfect, especially because so much of my work is constantly having to be on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I, in principle, and because I hate it, won't read a book on a screen. Like, I won't read it on a laptop. I mean, sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook, but I'm like you. Like, it doesn't sink into my brain, and I'm just constantly rewinding to catch it. And you can't mark it up, and you can't highlight stuff, and you can't make notes. No, I'm very attached to paper books, and I'm glad that, you know, everybody who was our age when they were kids obviously had to read paper books because there's no other option. But I was really forced by my parents to read books, and we weren't really allowed to watch much TV.
I was asking my Gen Z nephew if they read his generation, and he's like, why would we do that? We can just type it into like ChatGPT and have it give us a summary.
So depressing.
I was like, isn't that
what's going to happen to writers? Will there be writers?
No. I don't even know that they're going to need to know how to write. We might be the last generation en masse that knows how to like read and write.
So we have a niche.
Critical thinking. And it will 100%. Be like a class thing because all of the rich people I know are teaching their kids critical thinking. They're teaching their kids like all the classics. They're making them read. They're making them write, cursive, all this stuff. And it's going to be a class divide. It's going to be just like the masses who don't have access to this stuff are going to have, like, they're going to use AI for everything. They're not going to really know how to read, write, or even think for all that matter. They're just going to be able to kind of outsource all of it to the computer. And then there will be a class that still knows how to do these things.